Welcome back to Finals. I am Venonat. I have taken over the stream. It is my stream now. This is my subject. We're getting into Finals. We've got a rematch of round number 2 coming through. Abigail Watson and Brandon Davis, two very impressive players. I think I said before they've both won here a couple times, I think. I'm really excited to get into it. So in the previous matchup, as we had kind of been talking about off-stream, Brandon kind of realized in game number 2 that he needed to get the Ursaluna more involved in order to get rid of the Incineroar, which otherwise can just kind of spam Snarl and win. And the problem is that in game number 2, when Brandon tried that, he got hit with an Ivy Cudgel on the switch-in for Ursaluna, which left it on very low HP and dropping to Flame Orb. So I'm curious what the change will be. This is a noteworthy change, is that the Wellspring was not brought at all in the last set, I believe. So that's new. I believe in the last set for both games, Abby was running the Incin, Ogerpon, Dozogiri. And I would anticipate that to keep going.
Well, we saw Incineroar get a really good Intimidate on the opposing Ogerpon Wellspring.
Mm-hmm.
That puts a damper on any Okos onto Incineroar without the Terra. It obviously has Terra Grass anyways. It might still be a safe idea to go for that.
Yeah.
But the Grass Ogerpon's in a pretty decent place. We saw before that it can Oko Flutter Mains potentially with just the Grass Ivy Cudgel.
Well, and I guess I'm a little scared to go for the Terra. I would be scared for the Terra Grass Incineroar here, just because you are making yourself no longer immune to the Expanding Force in the back. Which is the real nice thing about the Incineroar here, is that it's immune to the Expanding Force and doesn't really take any damage against other Iron Crown moves.
Right.
And so this Terra, this Terra means that there is nothing on Abby's team that eats an Expanding Force.
Yeah.
Like, Snarl is obviously an option, and obviously it takes Expanding Force, like it doesn't get one-hit KO'd, but this is pretty nice start for Brandon, especially getting the double protect to just see, okay, that's what you were going for. I see the Terra now, I can make my switches, I can make my Terra. I would imagine this is going to be that Flutter Mane. He really enjoys that Terra Stellar Flutter Mane. He Terra Stellared it both times in the last set. And Terra Stellar Sash Flutter Mane always has an option to make a hit. Probably just going to be... Ooh, it's going to be the Moonblast. Probably just going to try to take out that Incineroar. Ooh, no, it was the Ogerpon, actually. Nearly a KO. Not going to be enough. Ivy Cudgel, though. That follow-up should do it.
Yep, that's perfectly enough. That leaves Incineroar available for a free move this turn, but what's it really going to do?
Snarl, probably. Oh, no, it's going to U-turn out, actually. So I would imagine that means that... Ooh, huge crit. I would imagine that's probably going to mean that either Dozo or Gary is going to hit the field here, and the other one is going to show up. Probably Dozo here, just to at least maintain an air of something.
Just to make sure the ability works right. I'm not sure how that works.
I mean, it still works if Gary's in and then Dozo comes in, but I think this is the better option, where you get the second Intimidate down.
Switch, yeah,
and you have the opportunity to U-turn, you have a Fake Out available. You can protect the Dondozo, you can get a little bit sneaky aggressive with the Dondozo. There are a few different options that you have here, and Ogerpon probably will want to switch out.
This Dondozo is Body Press, Protect, Order Up, Wave Crash.
Yeah, it's the defense booster. Yeah, it's the droopy Tatsugiri.
Yeah, it does defense, so it's going for like Body Press normally.
Yeah. Which, boosting the defense is really nice, but also...
doesn't really help against this matchup.
It doesn't really matter that much in this matchup because of the Flutter and the Iron Crown. And that's the big thing, is that if you can't get the damage down with the Iron Crown coming out later... Like, Iron Crown does a lot of damage to Dozo, I'll tell you that.
So we're going to see Indeedee switch out here. This will set up Psychic Terrain, blocking, well, a Fake Out if that were to happen.
And also gets the terrain active for Iron Crown later, which is pretty useful. I like this Protect as well, because it means, the Flare Blitz probably was going to go into that slot, and then Dondozo actually not going to Protect here? If I played the turns correctly, yeah, it's actually Order Up into the Indeedee. Not going to do much of anything, because if there's no Tatsugiri inside of Dondozo, then it doesn't actually get any boost from the Order Up.
Yeah, that doesn't do a lot of damage either. It's not stab.
But that does mean that Dondozo got a little bit of chip down on the Indeedee and didn't take anything in return. We'll see the Helping Hand coming out of the Flutter Mane here. I wonder if it's going to be like Helping Hand, Shadow Ball into the... Well, it's going to be Shadow Ball into somebody, I think. Nope, it's Dazzling Gleam. I lied. I'm a huge liar. We'll see how much this does to Ensign, though.
Yeah, it's not going to do that great with the Soul Vest and everything, but we get a U-turn, does generous damage to the NDD. We do get chipped by Rocky Helmet on our way out, but now we're going to set up Dozo for, I guess, the rest of this battle at this point, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's like Dozo has got to, like, get through this whole team now.
Yeah, it's pretty much the entire team. And Ensign is around, but it's going to be tough to manage that if Dozo doesn't get, like, a lot of KOs here, which Dozo's in a really good spot to get Flutter Mane and to get Ndidi here. Although you do have to worry, that's the one issue with this Dozo set, is that you don't have Earthquake. So everything can get redirected by Ndidi. And I don't know if
I think you're pretty free to just attack Ndidi right now. You could almost order up and hope that the boost is enough to...
Yeah, and I actually like the switch out on the Ndidi here. I'd imagine it's going to be Wellspring. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because now, if it was Wave Crash, you eat the Wave Crash. Shadow Ball is really nice. That's going to get the Stellar bonus.
And that'll be the last time we see Flutter Mane get its Stellar bonus.
That was not a lot of damage.
It was not. Not quite half on Ogerpon, but we get our defense plus again, which we have Body Press, so that's great for Body Press.
We're gonna sit here for a while,
Yeah,
is what's gonna happen.
Be very grindy. So we're gonna probably see Protect on Abby's side to just get all you can from leftovers. That's a typical thing.
This is the Protect turn, and we'll see at least what Brandon wants to go for on non-Protect turns. Moonblast, that is the best damage, strictly in terms of damage output, that Brandon has access to. I kind of wondered, and the Horn Leech, so not the Follow Me, but just going for the Horn Leech. I kind of wondered if Brandon wanted to go for the Moonblast or the Shadow Ball. Moonblast is more damage, but Shadow Ball has the chance of lowering the special defense, which could be useful for Iron Crown in the back.
I think Abby just misclicked.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention.
I just saw, I was like...
So there is the Shadow Ball. So Brandon is actually going for the one that can get the drop. Doesn't get it there. Horn Leech, nice little chunk, honestly, onto the Dondozo.
That'll get back some HP for the Ogerpon. It's in a better position. So yeah, we saw this misclick into the Tatsugiri.
Maybe predicting a switch or something. Oh wait, into the Tatsugiri. That's definitely not who you want to hit.
You accidentally hit down.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. That's something you can definitely do. But Psychic Terrain's off, but we're still just going to be sitting here for a bit.
Yeah, so we're going to go back to our mandatory turn of Protect.
Yeah, we're going to get the Protect turn, going to heal up a little bit. Still strong opportunity for Abby to get stuff done here, but...
Yeah, I mean, you're at +3 for Body Press. It seems like she's wanting to go for Order Up again, though, to try to get up higher.
Yeah, I guess no reason not to. Well, I guess the reason not to is because you just keep taking damage from Flutter Mane here and put yourself in a worse position. When,
and I think you need to get rid of this Ogerpon. It's doing super effective damage to you.
Because technically we don't know that Crown is the last Pokemon, but we know that Crown is the last Pokemon here. You don't not bring Crown to this matchup.
Right, yeah. It's like...
And ooh, this is a bold call. Because, and Brandon calls it. Perfectly called there, because it's going to be, well, one, we're going to see Moonblast hit first for a nice little chunk, but then we'll see the Wave Crash go into the Ogerpon and heal the Ogerpon back to almost full.
Yeah, almost full. That's very unfortunate. Abby's kind of like falling apart once we get got to this Dozo. It's like...
Yeah, and there have been some really nice plays from Brandon here, just... I don't know if he has a plan, but he's certainly doing something.
Yeah, he's certainly making really good calls.
Because he made the... He's weaving Moonblasts and Shadow Balls, and I'm not sure if he's doing it with intent. Or if he's just
PP,
kind of... Well, yeah, and they both should have enough PP to just kind of sit here and keep doing them.
Spam, yeah.
Like, it should be 16 on each, I think, or 24 on Shadow Ball. It's something around there.
Yeah, if you PP max them, they're higher.
So it shouldn't be a huge issue.
For the Wave Crash again.
Alright.
They'll give Juke this time.
So the Horn Leech will go into the Dozo. That's a lot of damage, though. Wave Crash will also do a decent chunk back to the Dondozo, if it goes for it here, which we know it will.
Yeah,
it's also the only move that can hit the Flutter Mane, so that's kind of tough. Yeah, it does that. Does this KO the Dozo in return? I don't think so, but does it?
It'll be very close. It was at 46 HP.
It was. Ooh, 12.
It's real close. I don't think you can even protect out of Horn Leech. And that's not including the part ally that's about to come out, you know?
Yeah, I don't think so. And now, yeah, Crown is going to hit the field.
Crown without the terrain, I guess it doesn't need it at this point, but...
Yeah, that's the thing, is you can switch into the terrain later and probably be fine, especially because if you get the Dondozo out of the way with Ogerpon at full HP, it's actually going to be switching into the terrain now, which I think is fine.
Yeah, if you're going for Expanding Force here, it's definitely picking up.
And Indeedee, does it have an attacking move? It does, it's clean. So... we'll see the... oh, it was just the Expanding Force into the Dozo. I think this is probably the smart call from Abby, is just letting this drop here, because now your only out in this game is Tatsugiri shenanigans. And it's tough, because the main Tatsugiri shenanigan that you want to try to do is Muddy Water, but you can't really do that when Wellspring's on the field. Wellspring is kind of walled by Incineroar, but only kinda? So I think you do still have to lock Muddy Water, but it's going to be really annoying now.
Yeah, you definitely
like, you have to lock Muddy Water and hope that you get KOs, like, soon. The double connects on the Muddy Water.
Oh, we didn't get any. Get double Expanding
They should KO. And Iron Crown closes things out. 3 KOs out of 4, did all the work, even though it didn't actually do much of anything, but... it's kind of funny how Dondozo kind of gets set up as the big boss, but also Dondozo is kind of managing for Iron Crown being the big boss. And that's how both these players are kind of playing this matchup. But that'll be Brandon Davis taking the win in game number 1. Can you believe that was only 1 game?
Yeah, that was kind of a while. Yeah, this Iron Crown is actually really scary into Abby's team. You don't have, like... your ice types are scared of its steel side, and then everything else is just kind of like dropping to Expanding Force.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You really need to not Terra the Incineroar, I think, ultimately.
That's like your chance.
Because also it means that... because the 3 moves from Iron Crown are Tachyon Cutter, which does nothing to Incineroar if it's not Terra'd. Expanding Force, which literally does nothing, it's immune to it if it's not Terra'd, and Terra Blast, which if Crown is able to Terra Water, it does damage to Incineroar, but you're opening yourself to be weak to, like, Freeze Dry. Yeah, you're weak to a bunch of other stuff. Or Ivy Cudgel, which we saw Abby tried to take advantage of last time. And even past that, one, it doesn't OHKO Incineroar, I know that for fact. Even with Helping Hand, I don't think it will take out the Assault Vest Incineroar in 1, and then it can kind of just get Snarls down and weaken the Iron Crown a lot. And even past all of that, Brandon really likes clicking Terrastellar Fluttermane, so...
yeah, which is, like, interesting. We got to see it go through all the moves since you only get the boost once per move with Stellar.
And we saw both get value. Like, Moonblast did a lot of damage, and Shadow Ball got to hit Dondozo, undeniably. But that was also Brandon not bringing Ursaluna, which is also pretty interesting.
Yeah, you were talking about how, like, he said he would needed to bring it, and
then he didn't. Because the Wellspring ended up being very valuable, and bringing the Iron Crown in the back ended up being a huge game changer for Brandon, because then you just kind of get to say, okay, deal with everything, and then deal with Iron Crown. Like, let me see what I can do before Iron Crown even hits the field. Game number 2 here. Brandon 1 win away from being our champion here.
Oh,
and it's the snow mode. Switching it up hardcore.
And against the opposing Fluttermane and Indeedee, we get Psychic Terrain. Yeah, it's like we just go for the ice lead. It's a Blizzard Aurora. It's pretty solid. We're gonna see probably that Terrastellar again.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is. It's the Terrastellar again. You just keep coming back to it.
Yeah, it's like...
now I know it's
better than Terrafade.
I was gonna say, now I know what to expect if I play against Brandon. He's playing this Terrastellar Fluttermane. We're gonna see the Helping Hand plus the Moonblast. Can this actually take out the Ninetales?
Yeah.
It does, and that means Aurora Veil can't go up either. Okay, maybe actually Terrastellar's the best. I'm running Terrastellar right now. What am I even? It is the best Terra. You know what? I changed my mind. It's the best Terra.
So we see Abby come up with something here to call back from that devastating turn 1. We're going to see Incineroar come out. This Intimidate isn't going into anything that matters.
Yeah, and that's the nice thing as well, is that now that the Intimidate is down, you can bring in the Wellspring, and it will do damage to Incineroar.
Yeah.
Although you don't even have to bring in the Wellspring here.
But we've seen
you do have to be a little worried about the Freeze Dry. And you don't have Terra to Terra out of the Freeze Dry. Let's look at Indeedee from 8 different angles. As we await Brandon's choice here.
Yeah, he's really thinking
Shadow Ball is still available. It could be like Helping Hand Shadow Ball.
Articuno? I don't think that would be enough.
I don't think it would be enough, but wouldn't it be funny?
I mean, it's certainly, like, valid. He can't be faked out this turn, so we're going to see Follow Me come out of Indeedee, redirecting, I guess, whatever Incineroar is going to do. Moonblast into Incineroar doesn't do that quite that much.
It's a good chunk.
Yeah. See the Blizzard double connect here, wait for Freeze, and then Snarl, so that's going to pretty much devastate this Flutter main at this point, since it's already used up its boosts for Stellar.
Yeah, I will say the big thing for Brandon here is that he really wants to have the Psychic Terrain available for the end parts of this game.
Yeah, so you might need to switch out Indeedee now to keep it.
Yeah, and then the problem is, what do you switch out into that you feel comfortable getting hit by these moves?
Right, because you don't want to switch into a Freeze Draw and Overcome.
Yeah, well, and that's
crazy.
Even aside from the fact of you don't want to let yourself just get your Wellspring dropped, you also don't want to let Iron Crown get snarled, but you also want to maintain the Psychic Terrain, because if something then gets knocked out and you have to bring Indeedee back in, then you don't get the Psychic Terrain later. And so this could end up a little awkward. I like the Helping Hand here as the choice.
Are we going to do Shadow Ball?
I hope it's Shadow Ball. Nah, it's going to be Moonblast. It's just as much damage to Incineroar as possible, which I think is the right call.
Right, because you're not able to hit it with your Psychic mode. So Freeze Draw is going to pick up the KO on the Flutter main, and if it's the same as before, you ever have Wellspring or Iron Crown to come in.
Ooh, it's U-turn. Yeah. That's an interesting choice. It will take out the Indeedee, but it does damage back to the Incineroar, which puts it in a kind of awkward spot. Ogerpon will hit the field now.
Yeah, now Incineroar can't just like completely wall this Iron Crown.
Yeah.
With that little HP, it could just pick it up with Tachyon Cutter or just like a naked Terra Blast.
Yeah, I think actually Tachyon Cutter might be able to do it. And Ogerpon will hit the field now, and that's the thing as well, where Expanding Force is good against both these Pokemon. It could be something like a Follow Me Expanding Force, but man, does that feel awkward doing in front of a Articuno.
I think you have to, because Expanding Force, I mean, I don't know if it might double KO with this boost, but
actually, Iron Crown's not taking damage here. Iron Crown's not taking damage from Articuno, and Ivy Cudgel's not going to KO it. I think Abby's doing the right. Yeah, I think Abby wants to stall out the Psychic Terrain as much as possible, which is the correct call.
Because at this point, what's I have 2 or 3 turns left?
There's only 2 turns, so there's 1 turn left after these protects.
So you get 1 good Expanding Force on this next turn. So we might even see a switch out on Abby, just since you like know that this Expanding Force is probably happening. You really want to at least get to click it once. Right?
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing as well, where since the Ogerpon outspeeds the Iron Crown, Abby would have to, or excuse me, Brandon would have to pick which slot was going to be the Incineroar to get the Incineroar on the turn that it switched into it, and then also boost out the Expanding Force damage. So this is gonna decide a lot here.
Yeah, this is a very make or break turn. It's like this is the turning point in the battle. It's like, what is Abby gonna do?
And it could come down to Snowcloak, actually.
Yeah, we still have Snowcloak, which is the snow is almost gone at this point. If the Psychic Terrain is,
that is also
the last
true.
Turn.
Yeah, it'll be the last turn of both. That is absolutely true. Because the Snowcloak.
So I think you stay in and hope that you get the Snowcloak.
I think you do. And if Snowcloak does activate, this could be huge for Abby. This could be a game winner. But if it doesn't, Brandon could be in a pretty nice spot. 50-50. Ogerpon switches out. And that's the thing as well, where you don't know which one's going to switch out. But I think the safer one to switch out would always be the Ogerpon because the Snowcloak's available. So the Instinct comes back in, gets the Intimidate down on the Ogerpon, and the Iron Crown as well, but that's not as important. We'll finally get the Terra out of Abby. She hadn't Terra this entire time.
Yeah, it's Terra Dragon.
Yeah, it's Terra Dragon Articuno, which I think is interesting. You maintain the Snow Cloak, you don't maintain the defense boost. But
yeah,
I think
but you resist the Ogerpon,
yeah, you do. And Brandon makes the call and gets the switch right.
Oh, and now this expanding force is going to do a lot.
If it hits, it
can miss. It can miss.
And it doesn't. Okay, and it hits, and it's gonna KO the. Oh, it actually doesn't KO the Articuno. It actually didn't do that much damage to Articuno. And Psychic Terrain's down now.
Yeah, and you're not weak to the Steel move.
And Freeze Dry will take out Ogerpon, that's for sure.
It's like you're quad weak. So yeah, Abby is clawing her way back into this because you saw the Ogerpon.
I don't know. This will be interesting because now the terrain's gone.
I mean, it can still attack and it's still boosted special attack, but it's 2v1.
But also, what are they doing to it? Like
hitting it with not very effective.
That's the thing. You only have not very effective damage. You have superpower, I guess. Articuno can.
I feel like you should save super. I think you should go for a crit, Ivy Cudgel.
Yeah, I think you go for Ivy Cudgel
and then save superpower to do at the end because of its
an Iron Crown protects here.
That's probably not good
for some reason.
Get a free Roost.
I don't really get the point of that one, but
are we stalling anything out? Like,
I guess. Roost?
Yeah, you just let her Roost.
Yeah, I think. This is gonna be weird. This is gonna be a weird one.
Yeah, so we go for Freeze Dry. We can get a freeze off Freeze Dry. That's probably the best that could happen at this point.
Here's the Ivy Cudgel. It's actually not that. It's not a terrible amount of damage. Tachyon Cutter does not get the Ogerpon here,
which is huge. We get a chance now. We go for that superpower probably in the next turn.
Freeze Dry. It doesn't do
decent shit.
No damage.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a crit. Alright, we're gonna be sitting here for a little while.
Then we have to, you have to go for superpower now.
Yeah, well, you could protect if you're.
That's
gonna be the protect. I was gonna say, because you could absolutely protect on Ogerpon and then get an extra freeze dry down. Whew, this is a fun one. Because, superpower should honestly bring Iron Crown pretty low. Like, I think Tachyon Cutter will not do enough damage to
the Articuno now that it's Terra.
Yeah. So here's the superpower.
This will do good damage.
Yeah, I think Iron Crown honestly probably takes the next freeze dry. But I don't know if it can do anything after that.
Yeah, I don't think
it can
handle this.
Alright, let's see it. Probably a freeze dry.
Yeah.
Cold. Okay, no.
It's enough.
Articuno does get the KO there, so the snow mode actually getting the job done for Abby there. Had gone for the Dondozo the previous 3 games against Brandon, but that time...
Yeah, that went way better than the Dozo.
It did go a bit better. But that leaves us now on a winner-take-all Game 3. The winner wins this challenge. Like, this is the finals. The winner's the winner. Winner-take-all. But now you wonder, okay, what is the option here if you are Brandon? Because we also saw in that last game, Brandon put a lot into taking out the Incineroar.
Yeah, which was probably a good idea, but you lost Expanding Force at that point. You only got to click it once.
That's true, and then also Articuno. Because he could have gone for the Terra Stellar Shadow Ball into Articuno to pick up a bit of extra damage there, and didn't. And I wonder if Brandon is going to want to change around his idea for that. But also I wonder if Brandon just goes for a different lead or a different style of play from these mons.
Well, I'm wondering what would be wrong with Brandon just leading in DD Iron Crown versus
the problem is you just get snarled.
Oh,
like, you don't take out Incineroar and you just get snarled. That's kind of what he was trying in the first set against Abby in round number 2. And yeah, that was the big issue with it. So you kind of have to have Iron Crown in the back and have something else deal with
the Incineroar, right?
With the Incin early on.
It's like the water pawn.
Yeah.
I mean, we could still see that Ursaluna is there. Like,
that's the thing. I don't hate the Ursaluna as the option there. But we're going to see. It's the lead Iron Crown, the thing you were saying. But we are seeing it against these two again.
Right, and you're scared of Snarl. The Snarl is a huge deal here, especially with the Soul Vest. Like, you can't take this Incineroar down, but you could just go for the Ogerpon.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
This has been happening all day.
Okay, I was like, we've lost his
It's
sight.
fine. It's been coming on and off all day. See, when Brandon did this in the past, what he did was swap straight out into.
Oh yeah, you even have Flare Blitz. I didn't even think about hitting it with a fire move.
Because yeah, there's the Flare Blitz is available as well, but the
And you don't
problem
really
is
want
if
to
you-
tear water either because of Overwhelm.
Yeah, I mean, you could go for like a follow me something with Iron Crown, but the problem is,
That just leaves you open for Snarl.
yeah, Snarl is just a super obvious play at that point, especially if this goes through. Oh, that's a Terra
we're
from
gonna
Brandon.
see- yeah, it's probably
This is
Terra
looking,
Water.
this is looking pretty good for Abby already.
Yeah, so
yeah,
we're
there's
gonna see
the
Terra Water.
If it's Terra Water, Helping Hand, Terra
Helping
Water,
Hand,
Terra
Terra
Blast,
Blast, yeah,
I don't
maybe.
think it KOs. I'll be completely honest, I do not think this KOs.
I think that's what we're gonna see.
I'll be completely honest, I do not think this KOs. Ogre Punch,
Shield
Spiky
coming off,
Shield.
yeah.
If this KOs, Brandon probably wins. If this doesn't KO, it's gonna be weird. Let's see it.
It's the Salt Vest. I don't know.
I don't think it's gonna KO.
Oh wow.
2 HP remaining! Almost got it.
Get a huge
With just
Snarl.
2 HP remaining and the Snarl goes down. That puts Iron Crown in a super annoying spot. 2 HP remaining on the Incineroar. I didn't think it was gonna be that close.
Yeah, that was
I didn't
very
think it was gonna
close.
KO, but I didn't think it was gonna be that close. Ogerpon
And now
is the
you're
fastest
Terra
thing
Water,
in the field.
so you can just hit Ogerpon. So you're
Yeah.
really scared of Ogerpon now.
Yeah,
Are we
absolutely.
really going to see a Terra Grass on a 2 HP Incineroar? We are. That's crazy.
I don't think that's the Incineroar. I think it's the
Wait, am I crazy? Okay,
Yeah, it was the
I was
Ogerpon.
like, there's
I was
no
like,
way.
it's not clicking Terra Grass now. I don't think there's any point to it. It's gonna be the Ogerpon. It gets even faster now. It was probably, I think it was faster than Iron Crown before. It's definitely faster than Iron Crown now.
Yeah, if it was close. I mean, it could have.
Iron Crown does protect. It's probably a Protect Dazzling Gleam, if I had to imagine.
Yeah, so you can pick up the
Just get the Incineroar out of here. Which is honestly not terrible for Brandon in that case.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of got out of it.
Yeah, I mean, it got one Snarl off, but you could switch out, which might be the play because you're really scared of Ogerpon, but now we have to reveal that we brought Dozo, so now you're going to be like, you could stay in because you know Abby might be switching out to go into the Dozo mode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I will
don't know, do
say...
you bring Tatsugiri instead and try to just like...
One big thing is that Crown is now neutral special attack because of the Snarl. And that is meaningful.
Yeah, because it can go for Expanding Force, it's
It
gonna do
can.
okay, but it's not like
It's still going to do a solid
about
chunk to
KOs,
Dondozo.
yeah.
And the problem for Dondozo is that it doesn't have like Earthquake or anything, so anything that it does has to be single target, and so a lot of redirection can keep Crown around.
Right, that's why
Like that was I lost to Haley running Iron Crown. It was very embarrassing. I was running Iron Crown. Haley was running Dondozo. And the big thing is that with the Earthquake, my Iron Crown just kept getting chipped down, and I couldn't really do anything about it. And that's what Abby is not able to threaten right now. And so this could come down to kind of weird interactions. I also don't hate just like a follow me expanding force here. There's no downside to follow me expanding force right now. I think.
that's gonna redirect this Ivy Cudgel. I mean, this might KO.
I don't
Terra.
think it will.
Nope, not quite.
Barely takes it. Not a lot of HP left, but the expanding force comes through.
It's gonna do decent.
I think. I don't know if this KOs. It shouldn't. Yeah, no, it shouldn't. But that leaves Ogerpon with a weird situation where it's like, do you switch out now, or do you like into the Tatsugiri, or do you? Because if you don't switch out right now into Tatsugiri, then Dondozo is just going to get leveled by
Yeah, I
Iron
think you have
Crown.
to. I was like, I think Abby has to just order up into Iron Crown and switch into Tatsugiri.
Yeah.
And if Ndidi follows me, it follows me.
Yeah, if it gets redirected, you take out the NDD, that's whatever. Although at the same time, that's the other thing, is that Iron Crown's not actually being threatened with a KO right now from
Yeah, it's
Dondozo.
Yeah, it can't be one shot right now. Maybe if we boost our defense with order up first, I don't know. It might need like +4 at that point.
So that does mean that Iron Crown, you don't even necessarily have to, you don't necessarily have to put redirection in right now. You could switch into Ogerpon Wellspring. Which
Also
since,
could redirect.
yeah, which one can also redirect, and 2 has the option to, and there's the order up going into the Iron Crown, but it also has the option to just hit Horn Leeches, because the Terra's already been burned.
Yeah, the Horn Leech, we saw that in the first game. It did a lot of damage to the Dondozo even after.
Yeah, I was gonna say, for the fact that it's Dondozo, it was doing a lot of damage. Like, that's a solid chunk to Dondozo. Expanding Force is gonna do a pretty meaningful chunk, I will say. Like, I don't know, third? Yeah, around a third. Pretty meaningful amount of damage. And the order up, the crit.
That's a big deal. You got defense now, so Ogerpon's not going to do as much damage this turn, and you can still protect to get left over.
Yeah,
so
you do a funny protect. You do a little protecting. We did just see. Did we see? Yeah, we saw Crown go before Dozo.
Yeah.
Which not
it was Ogerpon and Crown and Dozo.
Yeah, which is not a guaranteed interaction, but yeah, I don't hate the switch out on the Crown now.
It's a pretty free switch out, unless Abby maybe called that and attacked instead of using Protect this turn. Going into that Flutter main, Horn Leech. Oh, we don't see a Protect, so the Horn Leech gets a pretty decent chip still, and we see a Body Press, not enough for an Oko. And that's the thing now as well, where we now have these two Pokemon on the field, which is really annoying for Abby because the Wellspring is immune to Wave Crash, and the Fluttermane is immune to Order Up and Body Press. Yeah, so it has to click Wave Crash into Fluttermane, which can just be followed me. So you have to go for the Ogerpon. So you have to get the Ogerpon out of the way early, but that means Ogerpon can protect on the off turns. Right. But that also means that. So do you call that? Yeah, I was going to say, do you call that and then Wave Crash? But then if you do Wave Crash and follow me, then you heal up Ogerpon like way a lot. Really, it's like a 50. And Dondozo's healing up a little bit. Like it's got back up to where it was before the last Horn Leech. Yeah, which is not nothing. But also you have to keep in mind that if it Wave Crashes the Fluttermane, it'll take like a ton of damage in recoil. Not like a ton of damage because Fluttermane doesn't have a lot of HP, but like given that it's under half. Ooh, there's the call. So it was a follow me. I think Abby called that and attacked with Order Up. We'll see. Moonblast comes through first. It's not a bad chunk of damage, and it is Order Up. But the problem is, the defense boosts defensively are not going to mean anything at this point. Right, and it's good for Body Press, but you almost don't even need Body Press anymore. The Iron Crown was pretty low. But I still think you go for Protect and hope that you could survive a double from... Because Indeedee was down too, right? So it's just Iron Crown. Indeedee's up in the back. Indeedee is still around. It has like 2 HP. 2 HP it's very low, but it is there. So I wonder if this is like an Indeedee switch in. Yeah. Why did the... Why it's a pretty free. Why am I small now? My chair just went all the way down. I don't know why I did that. Yeah, Indeedee switches in. You get the terrain back up, which is big. You can redirect to get 2 Expanding Forces, potentially. Or you could just Helping Hand Expanding Force, which should be enough. Yeah, that could be enough. Yeah, I think next turn you see a Helping Hand Expanding Force and hope that it's enough to take out the rest of the Dozo's health. That's 97 health. Yeah, that's actually really close. Because the problem is, looking past that, Tatsugiri and Ogerpon are both faster than everything on Brandon's team, because Tatsugiri has Choice Scarf, Ogerpon is +1 off of Embody Aspect. Yeah, we're gonna see the Helping Hand. We'll see the Helping Hand. And it's like, is this enough? This should be enough. I think it's enough. No, it's not enough! Oh, but the Wave Crash is gonna knock itself out. Well, the head didn't have that much HP. Oh, the Rocky Helmet. Yeah, the Rocky Helmet, yeah. Okay. Well, that gets Indeedee off the field. It accomplishes a similar task, and I think this is honestly pretty good for Abby at this point. We're Tatsugiri goofing a little bit right now, because Tatsugiri is locking into Muddy Water, and we are just going to see what happens. I guess you could do Ivy Cudgel in the Fluttermane since it has Sash and hope that... Well, I don't know, I feel like you have to go for the Iron Crown, but is it going to protect? That's the thing, is we're reading protects in both ways here. Yeah. Tatsugiri absolutely locks into Muddy Water. Yeah. I think Ogerpon has to Ivy Cudgel one way or the other right now. It can't protect, it can't follow me. It's got to hit something. Because I think Tatsugiri just drops to Dazzling Gleam. Yeah, Dazzling Gleam's around. It just drops to Dazzling Gleam.
So it'll come down to what slot do you target with what, and is there enough damage on the other side? Because also, if Crown takes a Muddy Water, doesn't get Ivy Cudgeled, doesn't have the accuracy drop, hits the Expanding Force, it could win it.
So we're going to see that hit Flutter Mane.
And also Muddy Water could miss.
Muddy Water could miss, but...
So there's the Focus Sash. If Muddy Water misses... Oh! It misses the Flutter Mane! Does it KO the Crown? It does not KO the Crown. It doesn't get the drop on the Crown. That should be it.
Yeah.
The Dazzling Gleam brings Tatsugiri to very low HP, takes out the Ogerpon, and the Iron Crown follow-up should do it.
Yeah, you really had a chance if that Muddy Water didn't miss.
That was tough. That was real tough. But Brandon Davis clutching it out, picking up the win. A real tough-fought series between the two of them. That's 5 battles today between the two of them, and that last one was real intense.
Yeah,
real intense
good battles.
And I mean, we saw a lot of nonsense between the two of them, between freezes and a bunch of and critical hits and all that sort of thing. Exciting series.
Yeah, it was a very, very good sets for them. We got to see Game 3 on like the finals. That's always fun. We had to see Articuno do things.
We did. But with that, we are, that is it for today for us. Not for Psycho Turtle. There is Smash tonight, if that is the sort of thing you're interested in. So be sure to stick around for that on the stream later tonight. Thank you for Nicholas. Thank you to Nicholas for tagging in for Top Cut. Thank you to Troy for production, as always, and Taryn and Miguel for judging. We'll be back on Super Bowl Sunday, I believe, next Sunday, the 8th at noon. Be sure to come by. And I think that's it for us. See you next time.